Hello and greetings to all. It's been a couple of weeks since I put a video out, so I just thought I'd hop on here so that I can go ahead and put together this video that is a bit sensitive to myself and to countless other indigenous brown persons throughout the hemisphere. There are groups on the rise of individuals who many refer to as Afrocentric. Aboriginals is what they call themselves. So these are pretty much African American persons who are starting up their fake tribes and fake nations and whatnot. These people, just to get straight to the nitty gritty of it all, these people are claiming to be the original indigenous peoples of the Americas. Now, for the longest time, as we have become exposed to history outside of the white man's context, we have come to perceive many original peoples throughout the world as originally black. Funny, whenever the Gods of Egypt movie came out, with the mostly white cast, there was something I saw on social media where a lot of people were getting sunburned, and the caption read, "That's when you know that the original Egyptians weren't white," because it would have gotten sunburned. So a lot of people, suggest that they might have been olive skin, African, black, whatever. But now, when it comes to the Americas, they are pretty much appropriating indigenous culture, and it's, like I said, it's a sensitive topic. We have come a long way. There's currently a collective awakening among indigenous people throughout the world. But particularly in the Americas, in the U.S. and Canada primarily, with bringing down the statues of settlers, of colonizers, Christopher Columbus, and all these. Then there's the residential schools topic, where they've found, countless. I think currently we're at over 500 bodies of children. A lot of people are rebelling against the establishment, not only the white establishment, but the Christian Catholic establishment. So after everything that we've been through with the colonizer, as far as the Europeans, now we're being recolonized by these African individuals who are claiming to be the original inhabitants of the Americas. Why is that harmful? Well, it's been a long journey of, dealing with obstacles of all sorts, centering around white supremacy and Eurocentrism. And now it's kind of like when we think that we're getting somewhere, a new, obstacle, a new set of rivals, enemies, and nemesis arises. So it's kind of like, wow, like all this time we've been defending ourselves from white supremacy and Eurocentrism, and now we got to defend ourselves from these black people who are claiming to be the original inhabitants of the Americas. Furthermore, they are referring to us as Siberians, Asians, Mongoloids. The list goes on as far as how hateful they are in their rhetoric. So a lot of them are threatening with violence. A lot of them are threatening to, just take the land that is, according to them, rightfully theirs. And I see several fallacies, and as I go, because the best thing we can do is arm ourselves with knowledge. We can't get angry or emotional because we won't get anywhere. I have a few fallacies that have come up. All throughout the Americas, even to this day, there are people who continue to live traditionally, to adhere to original customs, up to and including speaking original native languages. Countless people, not just a handful here and there. The Nahuatl language, of which I've spoken, is still widely spoken in Mexico. A lot of people are even still monolingual. The Dene language for the Navajos, the Dene people, Apachean languages. There's a lot of languages still in usage by their original speakers, descendants of their original speakers. So if these African Americans claim to be the original indigenous people, how come the language is really not spoken in a lot of their customs of their alleged indigenous ancestors are no longer being practiced. That's pretty much my main fallacy. A lot of these people are finding in glimpses of the past a resemblance to their own semblance. And obviously admixture, has altered the way we all look. I'm a little lighter skinned. I'm clearly not a full blood, and I've never claimed to do that. I am. A lot of these African Americans may look at pictures from the past and perhaps see themselves reflected in these peoples, whom they're now referring to as Mongoloids and Siberians and Asian invaders. And of course, it's due to admixture. African Americans have mixed with indigenous Americans, with Caucasians, and this is where we're at now. So for them to now turn on us and state that they are the original, a lot of people also claim that the reason that pretty much strengthens our case is because a lot of us are lighter skinned, kind of like Asians. And of course, we go back to admixture. We go back to the fact that we are no longer out in the sun as much as our ancestors used to be. The summer's here. I tend to get a little darker than I do in the winter. You know what I'm saying? And I live a sedentary lifestyle. I work 8 hours inside of an air-conditioned office, so you can factor in why it is that I'm a little lighter skinned than perhaps my ancestors, and of course my European admixture. I'm going to go ahead and add to the topic, but at this point I am really just trying to weather the storm, because like I said, there's a lot to deal with as far as Eurocentrism, white supremacy, even within our own mentalities. And now we got another frontier. We got another set of obstacles to overcome, but we've done it for the past 500 years. So these Afrocentrics have got quite a battle ahead of them. So with this, I leave you, and I will add to this conversation, as well as the topics dealing with brown spirituality and Huitzilopochtli.